So many teensy little things going on in the world of SEO this week. On the SEO Weekly, we are covering 16 companies that are dominating global search and 562 individual brands. Like what? Where did Bard go? Where did Bard go? Product reviews update. Iteration 6 has finished rolling out, and AI and SEO survey. We're partnering up with MarketMuse and collecting your input on whether you're using it. Please actually take like 10 minutes to fill out the survey. Links are in the description. But SEO Weekly, let's dive in. Welcome back to the SEO Weekly, where queries are weird, advice is controversial, and everything depends. I'm your host, Garrett Sussman of iPullRank, and every week I cover everything going on in the world of SEO. We're talking Google updates, blog posts, AI, webinars, communities, Twitter, LinkedIn, you name it, I'm on it. If you are into this stuff, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a like, leave us a comment, let me know what you think. I genuinely appreciate you taking the time to watch this. So a lot of little bits of news, a lot of little bits. Let's dive in. So a couple of updates in the world of Google and SEO, nothing major, but first off, product reviews update for February started on the 21st, has finished rolling out after about 2 weeks. Remember, this is iteration 6, and it's all around product review content. It's a little ambiguous, but that could be for editorial reviews, comparison reviews, best of lists. I'm actually writing a bit more about it this week, so keep your eyes peeled for that article to come out. But Barry Schwartz aggregated some comparisons from SEMrush to the July version iteration of the product reviews and RankRanger to the September version. Both found that this most recent update has significant volatility across all different types of e-commerce sectors. One thing to consider in Google's recommendations for best practices is all around, making sure that you show experience and expertise when providing content around product reviews. It's not necessarily a penalty, but you might be losing rankings to someone else who's actually showing that they've tried out the products and they've experienced it and giving insights for users. So product review update, keep your eyes peeled for more information there, but that has finished rolling out at this point. Another minor update, the Google Trends homepage has been made to look a little bit slicker with some real-time updates of what's going on with Google Trends. They're actually linking back to specific articles, which is always nice that Google Trends does that. Super useful tool. If you thought about using Google Trends for SEO research and audience research, iPullRank back in the day, last year actually put together a Google Trends blog post that you can check out, but the whole thing looks slicker. I love playing with the tool, just checking out comparisons and seeing, for different sectors, how the trends have been fluctuating. Remember, it's at a scale of 100, so it's all relative compared to either other keyword terms or what's been searched for in the past. Moving on to AI and SEO. It's been a few weeks since we've really heard anything about Bard since Google's kind of announcement that Bard was being rolled out as an AI large language model assistant for search, similar to what Bing is doing with ChatGPT. Everyone's excited because the implications of a large language model like that connected to the internet could be a massive game changer. Apparently, according to CNBC and Jennifer Elias, that Google had an internal all-hands meeting where they answered disgruntled employees' questions about Bard. And so the product lead, Jack Crosswick, basically addressed this issue of Bard isn't necessarily search. It's a large language model, not a knowledge model. So what does that mean? It's really good at creatively generating text, but it's not necessarily great at fact checking, which is problematic for search. What does this mean for the rollout of Bard? I don't know. To some extent, it raises more questions than answers, but it's something to pay attention to, and maybe Google will pivot in how they ultimately use Bard. They're doing it internally, but will we see it in actual search? I don't think we're going to see it in the near future. Okay, so another major AI game changer is on the horizon. So this was picked up by Heise Online. in Germany, the CTO of Microsoft Germany, Andreas Braun, basically announced that GPT-4 is going to be rolled out next week. So not only is it trained on billions and billions more parameters that just makes it that much more complex in how it understands text, but this version is multimodal. And what that means is not only will it easily be able to, basically generate content across various different languages, like any language, it's going to use different modalities in terms of media. So images, videos, music will both be inputted and outputted with this new model. Just think about the implications of being able to summarize videos, summarize images, summarize music, or produce videos or images or music. I don't know how good this is going to be, but if it's anything close to what we experience with text generation, I think it's going to be overwhelmingly cool. Now, being able to, if you've ever used DALL-E to produce text, it's still potentially problematic. So it'll be interesting to see if you can do an image with the exact text or video with the exact text that you would want in there, or whatever sort of, sound that you want. I don't know if it'll be there yet, but honestly, I cannot wait to play with it. We'll get our hands on it, and I'm curious what you think will be potential use cases. Very cool. Another cool kind of content creation piece using AI from Andrew Holland of JBH. This is on search engine land. Basically, what Andrew does is shows you how to go through a whole process with different AI tools. Remember, not everything is just Chat GPT. So for instance, in terms of content brief creation, using things like Phrase or Surfer SEO, then going through like doing quick drafts and then doing rewriting using Chat GPT and AI, doing some image creation and design, doing research, fact-checking. That fact-checking is independent of the AI tools. Making sure you check for plagiarism. Basically 17 different tips from Andrew that will really help you speed up and optimize your content creation using these AI tools, understanding the limitations. And finally, in the AI and SEO kind of world, I've got a small ask. iPullRank and MarketMuse are working together to create a state of AI and SEO and content report. We want to know how you're using AI in your SEO task, or if you're not, is it working? Is it not? How does your organization feel about it? Please take 10 to 15 minutes to fill out the survey results. We'll be collecting results for the next week or so. I want to get at least 100 respondents. We're at 94. So if we just get right above that mark, if you know someone who's a marketer or an SEO, please pass it along to them. I will genuinely appreciate it. And then obviously, once we get the full outcome, the results, we will put together this report and get it to you. In the meantime, if you want to learn about the risks and opportunities about AI and content and SEO, we do have a guide that you can download for free on our website, the AI and content and SEO friend or foe guide, 35 pages, covered a whole bunch of really interesting, industry reception, the risks, the opportunities, how you can use it specifically for technical SEO. I helped design, I helped write it. It was a lot of fun. So check that out. On the SEO LinkedIn's, really cool feeds, a few of them being put out by Daniel K. Cheung, all about schema. So the two that really caught my attention was he breaks down how you can use structured data and schema to gain EEAT, that expertise aspect of who article is reviewed by, huge for enterprise level and for legal. Second one is he did a really cool experiment where he wrapped an entire blog in FAQ schema because why not? I guess there's a fear of maybe there's consequences because it's, overusing the schema, but he shows the results. The results are there. So great follow both on Twitter and LinkedIn. Daniel K. Cheung kind of crushing it with his schema advice on the LinkedIn. Boom. And then on Twitter, the Bard app SEO, Antoine Eripret puts together a bunch of really great SEO threads, but this one was all about looking at your competitors' content strategies. He gave an example of Skyscanner, looked at their blog, basically went to their sitemap, pulled out all of their URLs, did an analysis of how frequently they're updating their content to give insights there, did an NLP analysis to kind of look at the frequency of words and the freshness and all of this, that, and the other thing. great kind of framework for looking at your competitors and obviously not copying, but getting a sense of where you can go, what you can do, and what will ultimately move the needle for your site. So Maria White wrote a really great article for Search Engine Land all about reporting SEO performance to the C-suite. Basically, she focuses on aligning with the company's wider strategy, not using too much jargon, developing relationships with the C-suite, and making it very high level with actionable key steps. So focusing, on things like the KPIs, the arguments on how to, improve and what you're going to do, and then the specific tactics. They don't want to get too much into the details. So really keep it high level, keep it, a few slides, focus on revenue, and then dive in with action. So Glen Allsopp of Detailed has been updating some of his most popular posts over the last few years. And this week he rolled out a real doozy. So basically, this is how 16 companies are dominating the world's Google search results. He initially started this kind of in 2016, has been updating it. He includes about 44 insights from all of these companies, but ultimately points out, and maybe it's depressing, but like of the 527 different media brands owned by 16 companies that comprise like billions and billions of clicks on Google. So, the way that there's the Condé Nast and Futures and Hearst of the world each own all of these different major media publications in the affiliate space and the, reporting journalism space. And so it's fascinating to see how they dominate the SERPs. Glen has all these updated insights. It's funny, this is actually a specific actual use case for Exact Science, which is our rank tracking software tool at iPullRank that we're actually taking beta testers if you want to try it out. But if you are trying to dominate the search results for specific keywords and you have multiple domains, you're able to easily track it with Exact Science. So definitely, if you want to give it a try, we'd love to get your feedback. We're trying to improve it. But this post by Glen Allsopp is so freaking epic. It's like 13,000 words, and it's just worth reviewing and reading through and getting insights, everything from how they're using AI to who they're buying, redesigns, and how that's impacting all of their search results. Fantastic post. Conference season is still on us. Last week was Resignal's Recommerce conference, all about SEO and e-commerce. One standout presentation that the slide decks have been shared was Areej AbuAli, all about optimizing your site architecture based on seasonality. So Areej breaks down what you should be doing before your peak season, during, and after. She talks a lot about reporting and how to compare to peak seasonality as opposed to just year over year or month over month, focusing on where you're actually doing the best last year and how you're going to benchmark that compared to performance going forward, how you need to focus on linking from the homepage to landing pages to product listing pages to product description pages, all to your content supporting assets, covering and monitoring keywords, how to do your research. She kind of runs through everything and how during it you should be monitoring, checking the tech, updating your stakeholders so they're not caught off guard, and when they ask you, you're ready with your answers. And then what to do after peak season in terms of retros and communication and reporting and ultimately planning for the next peak. Really great deck, really actionable frameworks for setting up how you're dealing with seasonality for your e-commerce website. Check that out. And in the world of SEO tools, Sam Underwood, he has his affiliate SEO software website, SEO Toolbelt, put together a really cool little SERP snippet preview tool. Basically, you put in the title, the meta description, your website, even bolded keywords for what you're trying to rank for, and then an image or a video or FAQ that you want to have as a search enhancement to see what your SERP would ultimately look like, depending on if Google plays by your rules. I mean, obviously, you can't choose image or video all the time, but sometimes you get those if it's appropriate. Anyway, really cool, simple, free tool from Sam. You can use that to play around with the appearance of your SERPs in search, your search in SERPs, all the things. Last week on the Rankable podcast, I had Lilia Baja join me to talk all about remarkability on the SERPs, kind of standing out differentiating from AI content. She has a newsletter, Marketing Cyborg, and she's written for like content strategist, written for Zapier and WordPress and HubSpot, a bunch of really great publications. We had a fun conversation talking about EEAT and her Lima framework. So how she approaches content to make sure that it includes logic, explicitness, memorability, and actionability, all to provide really high quality content that's going to stand out, not only in terms of when people read it and convert, but also on the SERPs in terms of meta descriptions and appealing with headlines that people want to click and read about. Check out that video. Here's one quick takeaway from Lily in the podcast. Really enjoyed talking to her.
I said earlier that good content is polarizing. It's spoken to one person, an audience of one, like it's just for me and no one else, right? When content is that specific, what happens is that you have to have a strong, line of thoughts to carry through, like a very strong opinion, right? Such that when someone reads, they can feel something.
Yeah.
And for me, I think creating that comes down to 4 things. I actually have a framework in this. I call it the Lima
What is
framework.
it? Yeah.
Call it the Lima framework. And it's logical. The L is for logical. E is for explicit. M is for memorable, and A is for actionable. These are all fronts that AI is failing at today. AI doesn't have the structure to follow an audience, a reader's logical thoughts. Like, if I want to know something, what's the next question I have about this thing after you've answered the first question I have? It's just, I'm not a lawyer, but I want to say it's like arguing a case in court, right? The reader is unconsciously probing your logic each time you say something. And AI isn't at a place yet. I mean, lots of writers are not at the place yet where they can understand this logic. Like, if I say this, this is what the audience would ask next. This is what comes up next in the audience's mind.
And that's it. Another episode of the SEO Weekly. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch and keep up with SEO. There's a lot going on, and it's hard to keep up with all the different movements and Google SERPs and articles and tips and tricks and tools. As always, my name is Garrett Sussman of iPullRank. If you enjoy this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a like, leave a comment, share with your friends. I genuinely appreciate it. And don't forget my one ask, if you can, fill out our State of AI and SEO survey that we're doing with MarketMuse. We really want to get your insights and put it together in our report. Should be fascinating. I will catch you next week. Peace out.